Buenas tardes and welcome to my game training journal. A quote of the week is "All great achievements require time" by Mangala Angelou, and by that I believe she means that anything that you want to achieve takes time and practice to make it up there. Like I'd say that I'm not that great at piano because I haven't been practicing that long for a while. People say that I'm great, but I don't really think of it. Okay, on November 24th, 2024, I had planned to go to class, but I was rained out, so I worked on an art project in which I did a dragon doing low block, which I read online was a ready stance for dragon kung fu. Subjectively aside, I can see it not only as a defense but also as a counter, as in suppose someone throws a front kick at you in which you lose the low block to knock the leg to the blind side, which would open them up to many kinds of moves. On the 22nd of November at work, I had a conflict with one of my co-workers in which she didn't like the playlist that I had picked out for her in the back. After a lot of back and forth, we have come to an agreement in which we'd work in silence, in which I thought my trauma would build up, but it didn't happen the way I thought it did. Still, since it's Christmas time, I've asked her if I can play some Christmas music, in which she have agreed to it. So for the season, I play Christmas music for us to listen to that is both clean and effective. On the 23rd of November on November the 23rd, 2024, I went to a morning class, which was a test. Although it was meant to be challenging, I felt that I wasn't pushed hard enough due to my gamification training. And the quote that I had there was from a fortune cookie. Never ignore a gut feeling, but never believe that it's enough. Let's see. By that it means that sometimes when you feel like something's going to happen, look into it, because it may or may not be correct. Okay, on November the 25th of that year, I've gotten late for class for things that I have not foreseen, so the class didn't count. So to make up for that mistake, I decided to train as much harder than the next guy, which made some people think that I was from the military, which I know isn't true. When I paired up with a guy named Andrew, I have noticed that he had some problems with some basic skills. To help inspire him to improve, I gave him a painting of that dragon that I've talked about earlier. And I asked Mr. Rojo about what I should draw next, in which he said that he wanted me to draw him as a dragon, which I did, and I included that scar that on his chin that he got from I don't know what, which I have posted on Facebook, which I believe is the best way for him to see him. And the quote of that day that was, in training you listen to your body, in competition you tell your body to shut up. Okay, that was by Rich Frowning, in which he means that when it matters, time for practice is over and you should go all out. And on November 25th of this year, what I watched was the Side Control 3 escape, the North Star, South Guard, the break from Close Guard, and the stack from Side Control, and the Arm Triangle. And on November the 30th, I asked if I took enough classes to spar, which I found out that I didn't, so I asked about how many classes I've attended and how many classes that I needed so that I can spar. And on that day, there was a craft fair, and my thing was doing portraits, in which I drew two portraits of people, in which I used an easel and colored pencils so that I'd have an easier time. And on December the 3rd, the quote was, "One wasn't naturally born with courage, but with potential," by Maya Angelou, in which a lot of people think that I was born with endless courage, which might have been true, but due to circumstances, I've learned what fear actually was, and I had to learn how to build my courage up so that I don't have to think about it. In which I need to work on keeping my punches straight. And the jiu-jitsu was the open guard, the double sleeve grips, and the lasso, shrimp, and the sweep. And today the quote was, "The best way to gain confidence is to do what you're afraid to." But in my case, I need to work on my memory, and I put posters around to remind myself to do the things that I'm afraid to do. And the jiu-jitsu move of the day is the hydraulic escape. And that's my entry for today. Please leave a comment and a question below, and until next time... Hasta la vista.